Evening, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earth Watch on whatever day it is, January 3rd, 2023 on our planet. I want to add on to yesterday's little talk about traumas. First, how do I know other YouTubers are watching my content? Which is perfectly fine. But how do I know? When they themselves do a YouTube discussion on the exact same topic that I raised the day prior, either almost exact or putting their own spin on it, and that's perfectly fine. As I said before, no competition. That's for children. That's fine. Perhaps taking a different spin, putting their own interpretation on it, on traumas. So I'm going to continue from Travis of the Prepared Homestead. I like Travis, right? I like his beard. I like where he's coming from spiritually and how he lines things up. He's one of the very few. So I'm going to continue from his discussion on dealing with traumas from a different perspective. Other people's perspective who it's all part of their lives, traumas. Now, there's people in their societies around the world who, and I'm not meaning to put them down, but they are not educated. They are not taught certain things. They don't even know what those points of lights in the sky are called stars. Many don't have access to the internet, and those who do not understand such things as magnetic reversals and grand solar minimums, etc., etc. And it can be very difficult and frustrating trying to explain these things. On the other hand, I have a neighbor down the street who is just retired as a school principal, and he is ex-RCMP, which is short for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And about a year ago, I was trying to introduce the subject of magnetic reversals, and he had no idea what the magnetosphere is. And when I realized that, I just had to stop talking about it. Sad, isn't it? Anyway, so there's people out there, like Indonesia, for example. They don't know. But they know a hell of a lot that you don't know and have never experienced yet. This is the knowledge and experience and the memories that they have. They know the sounds and the visualizations of exploding volcanoes and lava flows. They know the feelings or rumblings below their feet as earthquakes collapse buildings all around them. They know the sights of their homes being washed away in flash floods and landslides and people being buried alive. And they know what it's like to see children killed and their own loved ones killed in earthquakes. These things are their traumas that unfortunately are repetitive. They've been through it, sadly, for years. Us here in the Western world, most of us, not yet. This is why I say, buckle up, pray like hell, and hold on. So, dealing with traumas. There's people in other places of the world, Central America, South America, Syria. It's not just Ukraine, folks. There's children freezing to death in the wintertime in Syria. I find it insulting, people putting all their Ukrainian flags out in their balconies everywhere all over my neighborhood. What about the Syrian flags for all the dead, frozen children and babies? Anyway, and they know what to expect on their current scale of severity. And then there's those of us who are spiritually connected. So I watch other YouTubers. If they want to pick up what I talk about, that's fine. I'm mature and in control of my emotions. When I take my daughter to the mall and I have to wait for her, I sit in my truck, maybe for hours. I watch society as they come and go, in and out. And I say, man, they're not going to last 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes. When events start up. Look at society. Now, I've said right in the beginning, since I started my Facebook and YouTube channels, I started first spiritually awakening. And I have a lot of homework to do. I haven't gone through all the playlists yet. But I have a pretty good understanding on what he has laid out on the table for us to take a look at. If you know what I mean. And second, my purpose for being here is not to talk about galactic current sheets and big bangs way up there in space. My purpose is right down here, not looking at the probability of something happening in the late 2030s, 2040s, but from now on to the next couple of 3 years, as our planet begins to respond and tell us what's coming. That's what I'm doing here. All right. I said that from the very beginning, and I've laid out what to expect. I said this a long time ago. If not here, but when I was on, and still am on, a Grand Solar Minimum Geomagnetic Reversal Forum group. I've said we will first see Earth's responses at the thinnest layers of its crust at the bottom of the oceans. Which is why I was watching Honga Tonga Honga Hape 12 months before it blew up. I was watching the heat signatures, documented. I was watching La Palma and the Canary Islands for 30 days before it went off. Next, I am saying to watch the subduction zones and coastal volcanic ranges for indications and responses. I have also said fairly accurately we're going to see deep earthquakes in different newer locations now, and we are. Below France, for example. You got to try and get yourself down under the crust. We're standing on top of the crust. I try and get underneath the crust and see what's going on. What no one else is doing. but also I speak of the orchestrated distractions. So I'm watching Mr. Ben Davidson's Q&A today. Wow. A little bit of a shift. He's talking about the same things. He's not talking about micronovas. He's trying to talk about what we should watch out for now. Amazing, huh? Remember I pointed out that picture of Dan of I Allegedly and Chris of Financial Prepper and, of course, the Economic Ninja all sitting together. Best of buddies, man. Really admired them. Is that going to happen here? Give me a break. Laugh. Please mention away. Watch me. Maybe you'll learn something from the old and the wise, huh? Speaking of having your booster, orchestrated distractions were being set up, kids. I didn't read through the entire news article. I didn't have to. Here in British Columbia, our media are talking about the new Omicron subvariant coming in. You know what they called it? Fear porn? They call it the Kraken. You know what the Kraken is? It's that huge mythical sea monster that devours ships and sailors. They're putting a fear porn tag on the next subvariant. They're working on your psyche, getting you ready. Bullshit fear porn is not just in YouTubers, it's in our government. Get ready for that one. Another YouTuber states that he doesn't know, he doesn't understand this, right? He calls us Bible tumpers. That's fine. Let's stay on the subject of what he has laid out for us to review, prepare us. I ask you this question. If you're so adamant and convinced that by the late 2030s into 2040s, there's going to be a catastrophic event from a micronova, unlocking the crust, crustal displacement, worldwide cataclysmic events, and end of civilizations. If you're so convinced, why did you move states to put your children into a better public school system? Public schooling, which is not going to prepare any child for what's to come. How is that supposed to help? If I'm building let's say I'm building a ranch. I want to be there really close to oversee the construction, while at the same time putting my children through home schooling, which is 1/4 of the time in the public school, and use the balance of that time teaching them critical, important life skills that they're going to need if you think it's going to be the end of civilizations. And as you stated a couple of days ago, it will probably take thousands of years for civilization to reemerge. However, saying all these things, and in your mindset, there's obviously no belief in revelation, is there? You're preparing to remain here on what's going to be left of our planet. Your planet, not our planet, because we're not going to be here. Personal observation and opinion. Take it how you like. So don't think you guys, I'm moving in on your I'm moving in on your YouTube turf. I'm not. I'm just here for a different reason from all the rest of you. You know, as for the other YouTubers, let's go over some of your headlines. All right, let's go over some of your headlines. Oh God, Russia is moving its nuclear weapons. They've been doing it since the Cold War, so what's your point? Fear porn? Or red alert, China entering World War III in 30 days. Been saying that for the past 90 days. Or how about this one? This guy here, the Canadian. Oh my God, it started. Oh, nuclear war, it started. Every friggin' day of the week. I like this one. I like this one. I have private intel. I can't reveal their name. I got a private email. I have private intel. I got intel too, buddy. But it's not private. So someone communicated to me today from Cuba. Braulio. Please excuse me if I mispronounced your name. He, to follow up on what I've just said today and yesterday, he said, people are illiterate of this knowledge. They don't have a plan, and they think we're all crazy. And again, when I sit out in the mall waiting for my daughter and I look at society, and yeah, he's right. He is. Wherever you are, wherever country, province, state, community, take a moment. Watch society and ask yourself, man, are they ready? Can they handle volcanoes popping off and earth opening up below their feet? Flash floods and mudslides washing everything away. Could they deal with those traumas? If you want to speak about traumas on what to expect here, look at what's already been happening in other countries like Indonesia, Syria, Central America. Look at the traumas. That's it for now, folks. I'm going to catch up on what's been happening on our planet. See you later.